Once there lived two young people who loved each other deeply. The young man was named Jean, and the young woman was Annette. Annette was as kind as she was brave. Her gentle heart won everyone over, yet she possessed the courage to face any challenge. Her father was a wealthy farmer who owned a large estate, while Jean's father was a humble shepherd in the mountains. But Annette cared little about wealth. She loved Jean for his honesty, kindness, and good character, and she believed her father would gladly give his blessing. She was mistaken. When Jean asked for Annette's hand in marriage, the farmer listened quietly before replying, "If you truly wish to marry my daughter, you must first journey to the sun and the moon. Ask the sun why it does not warm the earth at night as it does during the day. Then ask the moon why she shines only at night and gives no warmth. Return with their answers, and not only shall you marry Annette, but I will also give you all my wealth." The farmer believed he had set Jean an impossible task, but Jean was not discouraged. After saying a heartfelt goodbye to Annette, he set off on his remarkable journey. Along the way, Jean stayed in a small town where the people asked him to solve a mystery. Their finest pear tree, once famous for its delicious fruit, had stopped bearing pears years before. Since Jean was already traveling to seek answers from the sun and the moon, he promised to ask about it. Farther on, he reached a land where the people suffered from a poisoned well that had once provided fresh, clear water. They too begged Jean to discover the cause, and once again he gladly agreed. After many days crossing mountains, forests, and valleys, Jean finally reached the home of the sun. The sun was just beginning his daily journey across the sky. "Please wait a moment," Jean called. "I have questions I must ask." "Be quick," said the sun. "The whole world is waiting for my light." Jean asked why the sun did not shine both day and night. "If I never left the sky," the sun replied, "the earth would become far too hot, and everything living would soon perish." When Jean asked about the pear tree and the poisoned well, the sun smiled. "My sister, the moon, knows those answers." So Jean continued until he met the moon. She kindly explained that if she shone by day as well as night, nature's balance would be disturbed, and plants would no longer grow as they should. Though she gave no warmth, her cool light and gentle dew helped the earth remain fertile. She also revealed the secrets Jean sought. The pear tree had stopped bearing fruit because a child had been buried beneath it without proper rites. Once the child was respectfully reburied, the tree would bloom again. The poisoned well, she explained, was blocked by a giant toad hiding beneath its stone rim. Removing the toad would restore the water's purity. Jean thanked the moon and began his journey home. As he travelled, he kept every promise he had made. He helped the villagers remove the poisonous toad, and fresh water flowed once more. He helped the prince discover the cause of the barren pear tree, and before long its branches were covered with blossoms again. Grateful for his honesty and wisdom, the people rewarded Jean with many gifts, including a magnificent horse that carried him swiftly home. Annette was overjoyed to see him again. During his long absence, she had feared she might never see him again. Her father, however, was astonished. He had secretly hoped Jean would never return, believing the impossible journey would be his end. Instead, Jean came back wiser than before, bearing not only the answers he had been sent to find, but also great treasures earned through kindness, courage, and keeping his promises. Seeing that Jean had proven himself worthy in every way, the farmer gladly gave his blessing. Jean and Annette were married, and the wedding was celebrated with music, laughter, and a joyful feast that people said echoed through the mountains for years afterward.